Don't want to wait your turn? Now you wait 10 minutes. It was late, maybe a little after 9 p.m., and I was heading out to pick up my girlfriend. I hopped in the car, turned the key, and just as the engine settled into its usual hum, the tire pressure light flickered on. Great. I had a 12-volt air compressor stashed in my back seat, but the thing is obnoxiously loud and takes its sweet time. Instead of waking the whole neighborhood or losing part of my hearing, I figured I'd swing by the local Wawa a few minutes away. For those not in the know, Wawa is like if a 7-Eleven got a glow-up, found direction, and graduated college with honors. Wawa has free air pumps, and naturally, there's usually a small congregation of vehicles lined up waiting their turn. But that night, just one car ahead of me. Jackpot. I rolled up behind the guy airing his tires and put my car in park. Not even a full minute later, an older gentleman in a sleek BMW pulled in behind me. We had an unofficial queue forming, all civilized and orderly. Cue the entrance of chaos in a spotless, brand new Lexus. She zipped into the lot from the opposite side, pulled up next to my window, and rolled hers down. She gave me a saccharine smile and, in that overly rehearsed tone, said, "I only need to fill one tire. Do you mind if I go in front of you?" I didn't even hesitate. "Actually, I do. We've been waiting here for a little bit. Sorry." She didn't say much back, just huffed, muttered something to herself, and rolled her window up in the universal whatever motion. About a minute later, the guy ahead finished, backed out, and I started to shift into gear. But before I could even nudge forward, Lexus lady swerved in front of me at a sharp angle, cut me off entirely, and slid into the spot I'd waited patiently for. She hopped out of her car like nothing happened and tossed me the most infuriating little wave, like she was congratulating herself for winning some kind of petty parking war. And that's when the anger gave way to something else. A calm clarity. A storm of pettiness brewing just beneath the surface. I knew exactly what had to be done. I inched forward, slowly, deliberately, until I was just 6 inches from the rear bumper of her Lexus. The air pump was tucked in the corner of the lot, boxed in by curbs on 3 sides. Now, with my car tight behind hers, she was completely pinned in. Nowhere to go, nowhere to run. I popped out of my car, opened the back door, and pulled out my clunky, loud air compressor. I hooked it up to my tire and flipped it on, the roar of compressed air drowning out the world. Mr. BMW, still waiting in line, noticed what I was doing and leaned out his window. "Hey, could you fill mine too when you're done?" I grinned. Of course. There was an open spot on the other side of the air pump, and he pulled into it with a sly smirk. Lexus lady didn't catch on at first, too busy dealing with her own tire. But when Mr. BMW started backing into that open space, she turned around and realized she was surrounded. Her head whipped between the 3 cars and then to me, and her face turned crimson. She stomped over and tried to yell over the compressor, but 250 psi of justice was hard to compete with. I calmly kept filling, didn't even flinch. When the noise settled just enough for her shrieking to register, I turned to her, smiled, and said, "Ma'am, I only have 1 tire to fill. You don't mind, do you?" She exploded, ranting about how inconsiderate we were, flinging curse words like beads at Mardi Gras. Meanwhile, Mr. BMW was leaning against his car like he was watching the best show of the month. When I finished, I walked over to his car and repeated the process. She kept yelling. We kept ignoring. Once I was done, he shook my hand, gave me a genuine thank you, and drove off, laughing to himself. I took my time winding up the compressor cord, got back into my car, adjusted the climate to a cozy 82 degrees, found the perfect exit music, and backed up slowly. I gave Lexus lady a cheerful little wave as I drove off, matching hers from earlier, only with 10 minutes of poetic delay behind it.